So good to me.
It's a Free Country's been on a search for independent voters all month long, and this week we went to New Hampshire, where it's not hard at all to find independent voters. They make up more than 40% of the electorate there. That's the largest share, more than Republicans or Democrats, and they can actually vote in the primary. One assumption I made when I went to New Hampshire is because there's this huge swath of independent voters, and there's only one contested primary on the Republican side, because President Obama is the incumbent on the Democratic side, that all these independent voters would want to vote in the Republican primary, because that's where their vote would matter most. Turns out that's not the case. I talked to a voter named Lisa Murray, who's an Obama supporter and a registered independent, but she said she's not likely to vote in the Republican primary because they're not in line with what she believes.
You know, unless there's candidates that really strike me that I'm like really wanting either to support or to not support by my vote, but that hasn't been the case thus far.
Then, of course, you have Republican-leaning independents like Richard Carter.
You gotta wait till they all throw their hats in. You know, because New Hampshire, we always have like 57 candidates.
When I asked him about what it was like to be a coveted independent voter in New Hampshire, he said, are we coveted or are we harassed? What this means is, again, independents make up the largest share of the New Hampshire electorate, but there actually might not be as big a factor this year because they're not going to be switching between the Democratic and Republican primaries. The Democratic-leaning independents might stay home, so there might actually be fewer independents coming out. That's what Mike Dennehy told me. He was a campaign strategist for John McCain in both his 2000 and 2008 victories in the New Hampshire primary.
This year will be interesting. I think we'll see a lot less independents voting because there's no contested Democratic primary.
Mike Dennehy told me the real way to appeal to independent voters in New Hampshire is to stress that you're an outsider, kind of an anti-establishment candidate. That's why he said John McCain was successful there. Of course, that's what every Republican candidate is running on this year because nobody wants to be associated with Washington.